All right, what up? We out here. It's your boy, Matt Mason. For the second time in 3 weeks, the homie, the CEO, the Deca Fit World Champion.
Oh, the archives.
The #1 sled push guy in the world.
Facts.
2025 HYROX World Championship. We got Rich Ryan in the house. And the fastest RMR athlete on the Jersey Shore. She is now a trail girly, as we established last week on the Roxy's. She's just out here banging trails, just flying, taking that 540 street mile to the trails. We got Michelle Navarro. Rich, Michelle, how we doing?
We're good. Ready for another holiday weekend, actually, since we're recording before 4th of July here. Be good.
Yeah, y'all are getting this, like, I don't even know when you're getting it. I think it's like the week of like the 14th. But yeah, we're out here pre-4th of July. It's exciting. Holiday weekend.
You guys eat fireworks, people?
No.
You're not into fireworks?
I enjoy them, but if it's too late, I'm out.
What do you mean? Do you mean like shooting off my own fireworks, or do you mean going and watching fireworks?
Well, both.
Because my son is not old enough to enjoy them yet, I'm at that age where I do not really want to go get in a huge crowd of people and and watch a fireworks show. I've seen a lot of fireworks shows in my life, and I just feel like it'll be way more fun when I get to see it through my son's eyes. But right now, I'm not there.
You're over it. You're like, I've seen enough fireworks.
But I'd like to shoot my own.
You do? Now, those people are the worst. Like in the neighborhood, like they shoot off one or two. It's like, whoa, cool. just scaring Carl. Carl's like burrowing in my closet.
Yeah, dogs do not like them.
These hillbillies out there trying to not blow off their fingers. It's like,
dogs
look at that.
Definitely don't like them. Dogs definitely don't like them. How does Carl do with that? You guys have a thunder jacket for old Carl?
We probably should get one. He is not into thunder. He is not into fireworks. We think we lose him every now and then. Like he runs out, like because he's so tiny and finds hiding spots, and we're just like, he's gone. We don't know.
Poor Carl.
Yeah, poor guy.
It's tough.
Is Amy gonna snuggle him all night tomorrow, or what?
All night, every night. That's how we roll with little dogs.
Yeah. Does Carl sleep in the bed?
Oh yeah, it's his bed. We sleep in his bed.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right. On today's show, we are going to talk about the HYROX top 10 women of all time. Next week's episode, you will get the top 10 men, but today it's all about the ladies. So that is what we are discussing today. Before we get started, we're going to go around the horn really quick. Everyone's going to talk to you about how they, or at least the thought process that it went into. We're going to see if we have some alignment. Then we will come to an agreed upon framework for how we will rank these women. We do already know, though, that we are going to start at the top. So we will start with the top woman, and we will work our way down from 10. And then in future iterations, when we update this, we'll work the other way. But it makes sense to get this in place to start with #1. So I am going to hand it over to Rich first, because you've been a part of Race Brain top 20 rankings in OCR. So I'm curious, from your perspective, Rich, how or what framework did you use when coming up with your rankings?
I have a whole spiel, but really before I get into it all, I do just want to send my compliments to you, Matt, you, Michelle. You guys have been crushing on this podcast. I've been listening. I have been listening periodically. And for those of you at home who have been listening, it would mean a ton to us. We're getting a lot of like positive feedback coming back to us, and we see that things are growing. So there is more listenership. So if you are enjoying this, like send this to a friend. If you have people who do HYROX, who are at like your gym or whatever, send it their way if they want to be into the sport. And you can hook us up with a review on Spotify. It takes 2 seconds to click it. If you think it's review worthy, then hook us up with a 5-star review. Do just ignore that there are cell phones that ring in the background from time to time. If you don't think that's worth 5 stars, then
D&D, that's on me.
Throw up that do not disturb. Anyway, so now in terms of the process for how I kind of look at these rankings, because we've done this in the past, and the sport is just so new still that I'm trying to still make it as selective as possible. So I kind of what I did is I put it in different tiers of athletes there could be like arguments of who would be above who in the different rankings. And I ended up with 4 or 5 different tiers here. But basically, I went through its world championships were the most valuable. And then I kind of split the world championships, right? There's like modern era world championships and like pre-modern era. So I kind of draw that line around 2022, I believe, is when they first started to have like a qualifying system. Before that, it was just kind of show up and you could run worlds. So that's kind of where I draw that line in like where modern era kind of starts. And then from there, it's major wins. It's world podiums, then major wins, then major podiums. Then I'm kind of looking at things like personal record, or if it's some kind of world record, or if there's some sort of intangible there, like potentially some doubles performance. I rank that pretty low. I didn't consider the doubles world championship this year at all. So it's kind of like that. It's basically like PRs and regional podiums is kind of where I cut off. So if you're not really in that mix, I did not consider it on this list at all. Michelle, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't go as in depth as you just explained, but I do feel like my overall thought process is kind of like a rounded version of that. So the thing that mattered most to me, one was longevity, and how well you've done in the sport as long as you've been around. So that could mean that someone who just came in but is making a huge splash with the competition as fierce as it is right now, even though their longevity isn't, as much as someone else, that kind of stuck out to me because of like, their footprint right away. But also longevity in the sport does matter. And even though the competition was different in the past, if you had historically done well when you were around, that also mattered to me. So it's tough. I mean, there's definitely a lot of names that I still have on the list out of the top 10 that I feel like I could easily swap. But yeah, I do agree with the majority of what you're saying. I took into consideration more so the world champs and the majors, and how close you were to the podium, how many top fives you got, how consistent you were in the Elite 15, those kinds of things. Not necessarily any times or anything outside of that, just because all of the everything is a little bit different when you're not in the elite process. So I just kind of took into consideration the elite format.
Yeah, I think that's sorry, Matt, real quick. I think longevity is something else I did consider. And it'll be interesting to see how you and I interpret the longevity piece, because there's going to be some names on here that we do talk about that might seem like they're less relevant. So it's in the moment, like trying to remove ourselves from what just happened
Mhm.
and seeing and kind of zooming out and kind of how that fits into the totality of everything. Matt, I cut you off.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably a blend somewhere between Rich and Michelle. So I have a spreadsheet here. I looked at world championships, which I ranked as being the most weighty. Then I looked at world podiums. Then I looked at elite wins. So just out of like how, like, it doesn't matter if it was a world championship or a major, how many wins do you have? Then elite podiums. And then for me, I also looked at longevity, but the way that I factored longevity was how many elite races have you been in? Because I think that matters to me too, of like, okay, where like, that's how I think about longevity. Cause there are a lot of really good names on here, people who've been around for a while, but I was actually surprised. There are some people who may have not necessarily gotten the results, but they have managed to stay in the elite system, so to speak, where there are others that weren't in for whatever reason. And then I looked at world records. So that's kind of how I did mine.
That's interesting with so I don't love the elite race appearances.
You wouldn't.
I don't, because because that's basically times. That's basically PRs.
Right. But then they've got
and willingness to travel.
That's got some of the fastest time. But then they historically then in theory have some of the fastest times of all time.
Yeah, see, I'm more like percentage of when you showed up and how well you did, rather than the amount overweighing someone else's less amount. It's like the percentage of how many top fives you got with the amount of times you showed up, that kind of thing.
That's a good way to.
All right. Well, I just want to be clear that was the 5th criteria for me after podiums, championships, wins. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, you raced 21 times.
When you
Clearly,
You're in.
when it
Get
comes
outta
up,
here.
I'm
Get outta
vetoing
here.
it. I'm
Get
saying
outta here.
no dice.
All right. How do we want to do this? Want to do wheel of names for who gets to drop their pick first?
Yeah.
Do
And
it.
for women, we thought about this a little bit, but like in which direction to go. But I think for women, it will be anticlimactic for if we went 10-1.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the number one overall.
Yeah.
Pop up
for
those
sure.
wheel of names.
Yeah, let's go ahead and present wheel of names. Wheel of names. Look at this high quality production over here.
Let's see what ad.
We
You don't have any ads or anything?
no
on yours?
ads, dude. Look at that.
You got that premium? What do you got? That incognito mode or something? How do you
Dude,
get no ads?
I know what I'm doing. It's
Oh
me.
man. Oh man.
Which sucks because the number one pick is the easiest pick of all time.
I will go second.
Rich will go second.
No ads on here. I don't understand.
For posterity's sake, Michelle.
I will be third.
For glory. There you
That's
go,
for
Michelle.
last.
There we go.
All right.
Nice.
You want me to share? You want me to share a Google sheet while we're doing this, or what?
Let's leave it like this, and we can do the.
We'll do a post. Okay. All right. So the number one female athlete of all time, my submission, and we can debate this, but my submission would be Lauren Weeks. And this is going to come as probably no surprise to anyone. Lauren Weeks has 3 world championships. She has 5 world podiums. She has 10 elite wins.
Wow.
That is not
That's
even
crazy.
The next closest, from what I can tell, is Meg, who has 3.
Right.
Lauren also has 17 elite podiums. She has 18 elite races. The only race that Lauren Weeks has not been on a podium for an elite race is 2022 Las Vegas, when she was 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
She's still like 8th or something.
I think it was 9. Yeah.
9th.
But still.
She's the current world record holder and has set multiple world records. I mean, like, I'm just going to throw this out there. Do we even need to debate? Like, not taking anything away from Lauren. I think this is like hands down, not even a question.
Just like hearing the numbers like that, she's so good, and she's been so good for so long that you could have told me any number. You could have been like, it's been 30. She has 50 podiums. I'd be like, yeah, I believe it. She will, like, the numbers of like 10 and 17. It's just incredible. Like, where most of these athletes, we're talking about 1 or 2 races that are going to propel them into the top 10. She's just so much head and shoulders in terms of her results better than everybody else. It is just incredible because she has been doing it she's pretty much OG.
Yeah, pretty much. Her first race goes all the way back to Miami of 2019. And because I do know that Anthony listens to this show, my numbers could be off. As an example, North American Championships in Chicago in 2022 was not technically listed as an elite race, although it was a North American Championship and it did have an elite field. I am including that. There could be others. Okay. There could be others like that don't show up as elite races. I did factor in Chicago. I don't know if there were other European ones back in, but those are the numbers that I'm going off of. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're talking just sheer dominance. I mean, that is for people at home, and regardless of, going back to your point, Rich, of like eras, like modern era versus non-modern era, that's a 59% win percentage in elite races.
Well, and
I mean,
then
that's insane.
The podiums,
Yeah.
95%.
She's not gonna miss.
It's insane. Yeah, that was the thing that stuck out to me the most when I was looking at her stats. 17 podiums out of 18 elite races. And like, this is the definition of consistency and longevity at its finest. She has been top of the top no matter what era she's in. So she's the real deal for sure.
Baller.
Lauren is more dominant in modern era than she was in like pre-modern era. Like, she didn't come into the sport and dominate. She had that win in that weird Elite 12 indoor assault runner year, which I guess counts as a world championship, sorta. But that was a surprise. And then she kind of like took some lumps along the way, and she really built herself into the athlete that she is now. Where a lot of times we think athletes are kind of just made and they are like they arrive the way that they are, but Lauren's been on a journey here. She like really has turned herself into this elite runner. That was kind of her thing when she started. She just like would go out real hard and kind of like potentially die and not really be able to hold on. Now we look at her as like the best runner, like the best at like the totality of the race. And it didn't start that way. So like not only is she so dominant, but she had to work incredibly hard to be this dominant. And just how she approaches her races. Like we were talking about, like she doesn't race poor. Like her effort is never in doubt. She might not always get the result that that we think she might get, like this year's world championships, last year's world championships, but she never quits. She's just like the epitome of a dog out there. So she's really someone I admire as a racer.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that she's the GOAT of HYROX, but if we just expanded this to like hybrid racing, the gap gets even wider. Well, I mean, when you look at what she can do in a decafit, like when you look at what she does whenever she hops in these OCR races that she still sometimes does, like it's just, I mean, she's one of the most impressive athletes that I've ever gotten to watch race.
For sure.
You're always trying to talk about decafit. You're like, hey, what do you think about Deca is going on?
Dude, I'm just saying. I would just think as a world champion that you would weight that as something, but you
hitting Fort Wayne?
Maybe I'm trying to get Debo to go.
Dang, guys, do a relay together. Get BK out there.
Me and Debo.
Versus,
Debo. We know Jack
and who we got. We just got a whole Milwaukee relay heat.
That's what I'm saying.
Freaking like 70 elite.
Dawson refuses.
He's not interested.
No, I mean, I think a lot of it, he's never said this, but I think a lot of it has to do with that Achilles injury. And I don't think he really wants to do the box jump overs.
No,
yeah, he should stick to HYROX doubles. All right. So we're all in agreement. There's no debate needed here. Lauren Weeks is taking the cake at number 1. And honestly, with a resume like this, might stay here for a while.
Yeah.
As long as, because like these stats might get even crazier. Like that's the
get worse. Thing. Yeah. I mean, like,
it's like
the percentage could get a little bit worse, but like
it's gonna get.
She's starting off strong.
And knowing her, like she'll probably race for like the next decade. Like
yeah. When I talked to her in Houston, she said that her plan was that even if she was no longer the best. And by the way, Lauren is super humble, so she didn't use that phrase, but she basically implied that like
I'm the best right now. So when I'm not the best,
no, she basically said that even like as long as she was competitive, she would keep going. So even if there comes a time when like she's not the hands down favorite as number 1, but if she's still in the elite field, like she might run this thing till the wheels fall off.
Right. So she's gonna stack podiums.
Yeah.
Like so it might be a point where she's like not dominating and crushing, but she's like in the fight for the podium for like the next decade.
She might have the argument to be the Babe Ruth of HYROX racing.
We'll see in 100 years.
We'll find out. All right, Rich. I think we all know where you're going with number 2, but let's hear it.
So this is where my tiers came into place. Like Lauren, it was on a tier by herself, right? There's really not that much debate. But after this year, I feel like there are 2 athletes who are on the second tier. And when I looked at it, I was like, wow, is there really some conversation around who number 2 could be? But the more I thought about it and looked into it, it's Meg Jacoby for me, like hands down. I think Meg is the best female HYROX athlete that we've ever seen. Not necessarily like has the best results, as we just went through Lauren, her incredible resume, but just like what Meg has and how she's been able to perform in a short amount of time is like incredible with like her ceiling, just like her work ethic, her ability to like run fast, be strong, do everything really well. And then her consistency, right? Like Matt, I didn't do the deep dive like you've done because you are a professional. and I hear
Prepared.
and I just dip in and out. But I
I'm
don't think
prepared.
Meg has missed a podium in a major that she's ever been in.
No.
Correct?
She is 9 for 9.
Yep, that's what I had.
It's incredible.
Yep.
Right. And the amount of wins which she has. So you said she has three of 9. So what? 33%. Which is
That was actually surprising to me.
Mhm.
Because I'm with you, and I'm gonna let you get back to your point. But I would have, in my mind, I thought she had more elite wins than that.
there was and there's athletes that we'll talk about that kind of we thought there was going to be like this 3-headed monster, but like there was just battles between
Yep.
Lauren Meg and another athlete for no spoilers.
Michaela.
Yeah. That was like they were just battling back and forth for that year, and then the next year Meg came out and won that 3 of 5. So yeah, I mean, she just has the high end, and first woman to be under 60. She had that crazy world record. She skipped 59, went from like 60 to
58
high. And so just like really setting a standard for what's possible out there. She's had a doubles record a couple of times. She had a mixed doubles record with Kent for a while. So she's always like in and around the record books. But I just think she's just like incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go for
I
it,
was just
Michelle.
gonna say, like, I think the consistency and the development of the way that she races, it's just there's just a confidence factor there that I think is effortless from her. And I think as she continues to grow in this sport, she only gets more knowledgeable about how she can better herself. So I feel like her strategy and the way that she races is like a level above how everyone else does it. I think that she's very aware of how she can get to her best level. And it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see her as much this season, but again, when she's healthy and when she's ready to roll, I have a feeling that she's not going to miss the podium. I think it's going to continue to stay this way.
Yeah, she's a pro. She got like second in Amsterdam with like a bulging disc.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 world championship, 2 world podiums. She's only raced in 2 world championships, so she's 2 for 2 on that. She got 3 elite wins. She has 9 elite podiums and 9 elite races with a world record she was the first person to break into the 58s, as Rich said. Yeah, I think that if there is someone out there other than, no spoilers, there's probably one other person that has got a career trajectory that's budding that could potentially catch Lauren. Meg will have a shot, assuming that she's able to come back okay from injury, which doesn't seem like it's. We don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but like that'll be the question. How healthy is she when she comes back? Is she all the way back? What does that look like? But I think it's Lauren and then it's Meg as of now.
Yeah, and it was just really hard in general with catching Lauren. Well, I guess with the 3, it's just that the competition is going to get harder and harder. And with these events that are just one race where anything can happen, it's like hard to be as predictable as something like, say, CrossFit or whatever, or a 7-game series where it's like the best athletes or whatever will end up on top, where here's like, it's one race. So it's going to be hard for people to catch it, especially as it gets more and more stout in terms of the competition.
For sure. All right. Lauren Weeks and Meg Jacoby, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. But now is where there could be some disagreement. I don't know if there is, but there could be. Michelle, you are third. Who are you throwing out there for your third pick?
It's so funny because I have this list in front of me that I created earlier than this call, but I am actually going to change who I have for number 3 just because I'm thinking about it.
All right.
There's 2 people that were toss up for me for third. But I think now that I'm looking at it, and even just this past season, I have Linda Meyer here for number 3. And she has, I think, elite races, 14. 8 of them have been podiums. 10 of them were top 5 performances. And she just won the world championship 3 weeks ago. So I have to put her here. The longevity factor is there throughout all of the eras, including this one where she took the top spot. I think that kind of sealed the deal for me as number 3. She is also the real deal, and she's been around for quite a while. And clearly, she's not done yet. She just won, and she's going to be on a roll for next season, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is where I was thinking too. I had Meg and Linda on the same tier in terms of athlete. So in terms of athlete performance. Oh, so you said 8 podiums in elite? Okay.
Yeah,
Did you use high result, Michelle?
I did. Yeah, so if it's
I
not
did too.
accurate,
No, I did the same thing you did. For
yeah.
some reason, it's got her DC 2024 race listed twice.
Oh, okay.
So she has 7 podiums in 13 races.
It's interesting looking at her career as I was going back through all the world championship races. And there was one event where she showed up and I was like, man, because she got second at the world championships behind Chris Rogloski in I get the years confused. I think that was 2022.
22 Vegas.
22 Vegas, right? And there was another year, it's like she ended up like somewhere in that top 5. I was like, man, Linda really shows up and performs, but she kind of doesn't. She's like her results are like pretty inconsistent. I think she's dealt with some injuries. I think sometimes she shows a little bit less prepared. Like even this season, it was all over the map, right? Maybe she just did have it periodized well enough that she just showed up as good and she's figured something out. And maybe we can counter her being a little bit more consistent. But sometimes she's like 8th, sometimes she's 2nd, sometimes she's 5th. She's been like all over the map.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she's 1st.
One time she's 1st, which is why, just for the sake of debate, this is where I think this is probably our first longevity question. Because to your point, Rich, she is actually more up and down than I remember. Because like there was a period of time on Race Brain where you, Bracken, and Jack were talking about how like Linda is like the next tier. She's the next tier. She's like right there. She's right there. She's knocking on the door. The results don't actually indicate that. So I guess the question is for me, does the world championship, and I think it probably does, just for the sake of intellectual honesty, does the world championship in longevity outweigh someone like a Joanna, who I understand had a really good year? And so like that could be the argument, is like we're talking about one really good year, but like Joanna is faster than Linda in a race that is based on time. She obviously lost to her at Worlds, but Joanna she's the only other person who has never missed a podium in an elite race that she's been in. Now it's only been 5, but she's
Right.
5 for 5. They're all, it's either 1 or
That's
2.
still 3 less than Linda. Like if we give all the races to Joanna, she might just end up with 5.
Which I said, I'm fine with it. But like maybe this is the first time longevity comes into play.
I think in Linda's favor.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. This was the exact debate that I just switched on. And I went in favor of Linda just because of the longevity factor and the fact that she pulled off the win. But Joanna, I feel like, is right there, even though it is her first season. But the way that she came out and she hasn't missed the podium yet. She got 1 win and she has 2 number 2 or 3. Like she's
3
very
2s.
Yeah.
1 3 2s, 1 3.
Like this is, and with the most impressive field that we've seen in HYROX like this year, I just feel like that definitely puts her right up there. But again, like I do feel like Linda is still, because she's been around so long, and even though the consistency isn't as maybe quite as much as Meg and Lauren, like she's still been up there and been at the top.
And that world championship, I will say, Bracken and I had a debate on this on the Roxy's. Well, actually, me, Jack, and Bracken, because I actually think that this world championship has to put her there, because this world championship this past year, yes, Meg was missing and that was a factor, but outside of Meg, the field was stacked.
Yeah.
It was one of the best. It was probably the best world championship race we saw, top to bottom, all the way through, and she came out on top. So I agree. I just wanted to pose the question to maybe help us guide the rest of these picks.
Yeah. So I guess let's move into number 4 then, right?
Yeah.
So are we talking about Joanna here? Do you guys, that's who you two have for 4?
That's what I got.
Let me just double check some things.
Get to your microphone. What are you doing way over there?
Yeah, let me just double check a couple things. Yeah, I mean, I think that even though it's early in her career, she is the only other out of the 18 women that I listed to potentially be ready to talk about. She is the only other person who has never missed a podium.
Right.
She's never missed a podium. Go ahead. You don't like that?
I don't like it. In one season, like, yes, but like we said, like, she might never get on the podium ever again. Right. And is it like, okay, in 3 years, like, we're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna have to drop her down because now she just has not had the same type of results. I actually have her on a different tier than Linda and Meg. And I have two other names that I had on this other tier.
So maybe let's talk about it, because my other point was going to be, what's actually really interesting about this is because of the dominance of Lauren Weeks in elite races and Meg Jacoby exists, there's actually not that many women that have an elite win.
No, that's
Right.
why this list kind of got
This is
thin
like,
quick.
yeah, it's like tough because like these are all of the people, and I could have missed someone. These are just the names of people with an elite win: Lauren Weeks, Meg Jacoby, Linda Meyer, Rachel Schreiber or Rachel Vonderock,
Yep.
Viola Overlander, Joanna Wetrick, Michaela Norman. Those are all of the people that I have listed with an elite win.
Chris
Mhm.
Rogowski.
Oh yeah, sorry. Did I not say Chris? Chris, my bad. I am not
dog.
Bracken. You know I'm a
Come on,
fan.
Mhm.
Yeah, Chris Rogowski has an elite win. That's it. That's the list of people with elite wins.
Right. So like when we're talking about this like next tier, those are some of the names. You mentioned some of the names. I was thinking Michaela
Yeah.
and Chris. And these are both like interesting cases. All three of these really are kind of interesting because the longevity is pretty short. It's very small for all three of these athletes, where like we just saw Joanna do it and we can project that like, okay, Joanna is probably going to be like, but we could have said that about Michaela. Michaela came out and broke 60 in her first race, like in a regional race, all by herself, wearing full tights. That has to count for something.
It does have to count for something. Here's an interesting stat for you though. So this is how so Chris has the world championship, but that is Chris's. This is a fun little teaser for
Race
you.
brain teaser.
Race brain teaser. That is also Chris's only elite podium and elite win. She's won that's the only one. So
Right.
she's got one championship, one podium, one win, one elite podium. But it was a big one.
But that's what I mean. Like if Joanna won the world championships this year, it sounds like you two would be like, she's the third best ever.
Yes.
Whereas
Probably.
Chris did that. Chris won the world championship, but we've seen what's happened in the 4 years or whatever since, 3 or 4 years since, and we're like, she can't be in the top 3 because she's like the only other world champion, like, right? Like, but
I think the question becomes, how do we feel about that Vegas 22 race? These were the names in that race.
Definitely
I know
different.
it is different, but these are the names in that race. It was Chris Rogowski. This is the top 10. It was Chris Rogowski, Linda Meyer, Miriam Von Rohr, Dr. Alondra Greenlee, Alyssa Hawley, Tara Jackson, Viola Oberlander, Elizabeth Colte, Lauren Weeks, Camilla Massa.
Lauren, and this is the pregnant Lauren.
This
year.
is
so like,
this is
but there's still 2 athletes who I think are gonna not counting Lauren, who were in that race in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's not
spoiler.
It's not a terrible win, right? But it's not like, right. She didn't beat Lauren, she didn't beat Meg, but someone had to win that race. And if Linda won that race, we'd probably have to put her second all time.
100%.
Right.
I'm not tied to Joanna as, for the record, I didn't actually make my pick. You said this is where we're going to put her. And I said, let's have the debate. I'm not necessarily tied to Joanna there. I think for me, when I look at Michaela, it's interesting because going back, thinking about what it felt like in that year, that was the year to your point. It was Lauren, Meg, and Michaela going back and forth. And then Linda was just kind of eating up people that year on like taking spots. But Michaela only has 1 elite win, and she actually only has 2 elite podiums and 6 races.
Yep.
So the context matters. In the course of that season, she was definitely dominant. You're right. She came out and dropped a 60 in the full tights. That's definitely got to count for something. But then you could also make the argument that she was and again, I know she's battling health issues, so no disrespect, but you could also make the argument that she was a one-hit wonder because she was good that one season. And I would argue Joanna Wetrick's 2024-2025 season was better than Michaela Norman's 2022 to 2023 season.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think
So
it's fair.
So the question I think then becomes Joanna versus Chris, because Chris does have the big one.
Well, hold on. Michaela didn't make it to the World Championships, right? So that World Championship podium that Joanna has, I think, does put her above. However, there was only 2 elite races that year that Michaela could actually participate in. So, like, if there were 4 majors how there are this year, she could have 3 wins, right? So, like, she just didn't have the opportunities in that year that she was so excellent to potentially match where Joanna was. And in those races, she was beating Lauren Weeks and beating Mitch Jacoby. So, like, but
When you say there was only 2, was that when the elite races were where it was just the European and then the
there was just
US?
2. There was 2 regional races. There was a North American in Chicago and
Maastricht.
Which and she like had the world record. Like that season, if there was 4 majors, she could have had 3 wins. Right. And then we're like, that's pretty good. But she didn't make it to World Championships, which ultimately I think is what puts Joanna above her.
Matt is deep in thought.
Yeah, but then I'm like that that 2022 win by Chris.
It's a World Championship.
It is a World Championship.
I was gonna say for me,
but then it's the Jack. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like it's a consistency factor, I guess, after that for me. And there are 2 other names that I have that I feel like have been more consistent in their whole longevity in comparison to some of these other names.
All right, let's hear it. Let's throw 2 more names into this debate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're just gonna go all out. But I have Vivian Tefudo and Viola Oberlander in these top spots too. Vivian, she's got 2 podiums, 7 of 10 top 5. So she's been in 10 elite, and 7 of them have been top 5. She's been super consistent.
Michelle went that top 5.
Well, because I think it
nasty.
does. I think
That's
it does
nasty.
matter. Podium is tough, and when you're just outside of it, you're still right there. It could be seconds that are, is top 5. I mean, we clearly saw that last year at the World Championships with all of the issues with the wall balls. And Viola is in the same boat. She's got 3 podiums, 6 top 5 of 14. So she's had a little more of the races, but again, she's been around and she's been doing it for quite a while. So the longevity factor and being a little bit more consistent in the top 5s or podiums, those 2 names definitely stick out to me as being kind of top 5 all time here.
I mean, I had those 2 in my next tier. They were the 2 in a tier alone, and I think just because their best performances haven't been as bright as the 3 ahead of them. And I think with the way I was just kind of like who is a better HYROX athlete, right? Like Vivian or Chris, like, right. We probably would lean Vivian, but Chris has that World Championship.
Yeah.
And there's like, you could be like, well, if Vivian was there, she would probably win. Maybe. But
now analogy time. Richard, basketball guy.
Yep.
To me, Vivian and Viola are kind of like Charles Barkley. Really one. Never won the big one. Really good careers. Going down, they're probably going to wind up on the list, but they never won. And I don't know. I just feel like I have it down that there are 7 world championships. We can argue that like there was, farmer era versus like modern era of like professional athlete, but the world champions are Lauren Weeks, Meg Jacoby, Linda Meyer, Rachel Vonderach, and Chris Rogloski.
Wait, when did Rachel win?
She won, I think it was considered a world championship. Let me just double check.
I don't think she did win.
Yes, she did. Leipzig 2000 oh wait, no. Sorry.
She was 3rd. Or you're missing Imke Salander, the OG champ.
What do I have for?
She won a race in Dallas that was kind of like a showcase. That was after Lauren won the world championship, like that weird world championship with the assault treadmills. And then Rachel Schreiber, I think at the time, did the open workout in the morning, came to Dallas and just smoked everybody. And it was like this person is incredible. She was just like this former like I think she was D3 All-American cross country runner. Could be wrong on that, but so like a really high level runner, and then just got awesome at CrossFit, and then showed up one day and just murdered everyone. But
You're right. You're right. It's so she's got she has a world podium,
Yes.
which was that Leipzig race, and then she had one elite win. And she's got 3. She's only done 3 races, and she podiumed all 3. So I take that back. Okay, so then our world champs are Lauren Weeks, Meg Jacoby, Linda Meyer, Chris.
MK Solander.
But it's hard to call it a world championship when it's all Germans that are racing.
It was the first one. Second place there was an athlete still racing. Rebecca Nather was at that race. Tim Vinish ran in the first ever, and Alex Ronkovich ran in the first ever one too. He got second. Tim was like 10th or something like that. I think he was like 12 years old.
Yeah, basically.
Unbelievable. Prodigy.
All right, so now we like dropped a ton of names. So I guess this is where we're gonna. So it sounds like we're really between. We're like.
Where do you stand, Matt? Where do you stand on the Vivian Viola? You think that
Vivian has never won an elite race, so I can't put her ahead of Joanna, and I also can't put someone who has never won an elite race over a world champion, personally.
Okay.
But I'm not. This is a panel. That's one man's opinion.
I agree. I had them in a different tier.
Okay, so we're down to, interestingly enough, the one name that I think got thrown out there that does make things a little bit confusing would be Viola, because now we're getting into where does longevity rank in this, because Viola actually has the second most elite races of anybody not named Lauren Weeks. And I know that you don't care about that stat, but I'm just throwing it out there. 14. She's got 14 elite races. She has 3 podiums. She's got a myriad of top 5s. She has an elite win, and she has 2 world podiums.
It's just that and this is like a double-edged sword, is how I'm reading. It's like for Linda too, because they've been around so long, they've had more chances to not race well. And I feel like I'm holding that against them. Like how with Joanna, it's like every time we see her, she races great. But if we see her for 3 more years, maybe that's not the case. But Viola and Viola had coming into that championship that Chris won, that was Viola's race. She should have won that race. And I think she just didn't show up very well. I mean, that was early too. So she may have been, the jet lag was probably an issue. I think she ran an extra lap. She was didn't show up in the biggest moment, and she should have won that race. So I don't know. And I think
okay. Now, so are we Chris and Joanna? Is that what we're down to?
I think Joanna's 4.
Yeah.
Oh, give Chris some bulletin board material for next year. All right. I can get on board with that. We'll go Joanna. And I think so. We're basically the argument then is we're saying 5 for 5 on elite podiums is a more impressive career than 1 world championship.
I think this is I sat here and said Vegas is modern era, but the context of it is just a little bit different. But a testament to Chris, right? Never afraid. Just she got in on a roll down and came in and was like, I can win this race. I'm just going to do it. And just took it. So she is an all-time competitor. I think another thing with this is that Chris, I don't know, at the time, what was she, 23, 24, right? So it wasn't an athlete at the end of their career. And it's what could have been. Now we've had this big body of work to see what she's done thereafter. And she hasn't really prioritized it, right? So it's not that she couldn't have been what Joanna has been doing and been there more consistently. I don't know. I just think that podium and beating Lauren Weeks at her best twice. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking myself into Joanna here.
All right, Joanna. So then, Rich, you're down to the 5. Does Chris fall further than 5 as a world champion?
Yeah. So it's Chris versus Michaela, right? And Michaela has the high end ability, right? Where she did just break 60 in her first race. Had a couple of races she beat Lauren Weeks straight up, beat Meg Jacoby straight up. Never seen her at a world championship. Has been pretty inconsistent just because of health issues. Was
Well,
really
we
only
did,
had
but
that
she
1
was
year.
not right, and she raced in Nice, but I think she got like 10th or 11th.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like like the past couple times she showed up, like she was like just spit out the back immediately, like just really not right.
So the argument is one good season versus one world championship.
I know. I think I have to go Chris here. Just like, and Michaela they both have the ability to move up, right? Of course, because they both are young and can still like have good performances. But if Michaela can get back and like get back on the podium consistently and compete against Joanna, Meg, and Lauren, I think she has the ability to move up. But right now, I think it's Chris.
Yeah, this is the challenge of like the recency thing. Obviously, we're seeing Chris a lot more this season. And like you said, like maybe she is prioritizing this now and the trajectory will continue to go up from here. And she's obviously already had the one win. With Michaela, we haven't seen her as much. I think she did race once this past season, but again, just like we're not sure where she's at. So it's hard to not have the recency in mind when thinking about this. But it seems like Chris is on a, more positive trajectory right now.
Yeah, and that race, just for the record, even if 2022 is kind of the borderline modern era versus not, just for the sake of conversation, these are the names that she beat. Linda Meyer, who is now a world champion, Miriam von Rohr, who has
CrossFit Open champion,
CrossFit Open champion,
two-time
also
games athlete.
Also, Miriam has an elite podium, so not a slouch.
Yeah, no.
Dr. Alondra Greenlee, who when I went back and looked, because I was like, oh, this, I don't want to say I forgot about her, but like there was a stretch there where she was like top tier, top 5. Like she was good. Tara Jackson, Viola, who we've already mentioned. Lauren obviously was pregnant. Camila Massa, another name to consider. And then Rebecca Nather was in that race. So, I mean, that wasn't like, those are names that are largely still around in HYROX and or largely still around in fitness racing. So for anyone who's like, oh, Chris Rogowski 5, that's a reach. I don't think it is. It's a real race. So, all right. So we're going Chris with the 5. Sounds like we agree there. Michelle, your number 6 female.
Yeah, I would say Michaela should be up here just because of her track record that we already spoke of. It's hard because, again, like I have Vivian and Viola as well. These 3 are kind of in this tier for me, I guess I would say, Rich. But
yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you more and more now that we're looking at it side by side. Really, like Michaela in terms of accomplishments doesn't really have that much more than Vivian or Viola.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a win. So, and neither does Viola have a win. I can't even remember.
Yes.
No. Where?
She does. She's got an elite win. It was a Spanish race in 2021, but it was considered an elite race.
Okay.
What?
But yeah, so like if we feel like the Chicago 2023 win for Michaela is because she battled Meg and Lauren, right? Maybe this is standing out a little bit more as why I would put her above.
So Michaela does have an elite win against 2 people who were at the top of the game at the time. However, I would make an argument for Vivian here from a longevity perspective. She also has 2 elite podiums, the same as Michaela, and she has a world podium in a pretty deep race. Like that pile up was wild. And yes, that Viola could have taken second and there was wall ball gate, whatever. But like when the dust settled, it was Vivian on a world podium. And she's got, I mean, we took going back to your stat, Michelle, on top 5s.
Yeah.
Race Brain used to joke about how just put Vivian in for 4th place in whatever race that she's doing. Yeah. So I could see the argument for Michaela, but I don't know that I'm necessarily there yet because healthy or not, Vivian has been there and has been on a world podium, and world podiums, I think, matter more than elite wins.
Yeah, but before you guys started talking about Michaela, I had Vivian above just because of the longevity, and she's got 7 top 5s of 10 total races, which was more than
That ain't
Vivian
bad.
and Michaela. Yeah,
7
but
top
again,
5s ain't bad.
I feel like all those 3 names are kind of interchangeable right now with their accolades.
Yeah, Vivian, in terms of the consistency and the longevity, definitely gets the nod. When I'm looking at this tier now, this is just like I'm just in sports talk land now. Okay, you ready? There was never a time where Vivian or Viola could be considered the best HYROX athlete in the world. But there was a time when Michaela was that, or at least in debate. Like, I don't think there's ever been a time where we could debate maybe Viola, but I don't really think so.
All right,
Does
so
that matter?
I'll hear that argument. I
I
appreciate that argument.
Sports talk land.
My question for you back is if we did top 5 each season, hands down that season, Michaela is top 3.
Yes.
However, it was and I hate saying this because we're talking about people with real feelings, although I doubt Michaelis is a race brain. It was a flash in the pan. It was a flash pan. So it happened there was a period of time. We haven't seen her get back to that. And we won't even talk about elite races, just like longevity. If you look at longevity, Vivian has done it across multiple seasons. And honestly, like, I think if it wasn't for Chris's world championship, to your point, Vivian would be ranked ahead of Chris. So, like, Michaela feels like a point in time to me, whereas Vivian feels like a storyline across multiple seasons.
Yeah, so longevity is playing out more for you in this instance.
No, well, not necessarily. I'm just to Rich's point of, yes, there was a point in time where we said Michaela was one of the best in the world. But she just hasn't sustained that output through the test of time. So does that matter? Because this is top 10 all time, not
right. Not current.
In a bubble.
I'm trying to get out here as well. Okay, so another analogy. So who would you
ChatGPT is working overtime right now.
Who would you consider to be have a better career as a basketball player? Derrick Rose or Chris Paul?
Chris Paul.
Okay, so I think that's the argument, right? Vivian's the Chris Paul.
But Derrick Rose is the better basketball player.
At his peak, he won MVP, but Chris Paul had it. So that's it. So I'm with Vivian. So it's Vivian. So it's Vivian.
Yeah, because it's like that. I mean, that's such a good example because
thank you.
Derrick Rose, had he been able to stay healthy, might have gone down as one of the greatest basketball players ever. But we never saw it because he couldn't do it.
Never won a championship. Right.
Never won a championship. Couldn't stay healthy enough. Wound up being like a kind of a swing player, and like I feel like that's an apt analogy.
Thank you, bro.
All right, so we're going Vivian in the 6. All right, now it's back to me. Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna go. Okay, this is where I do think the debate becomes a little bit interesting. I'm down to Viola and Michaela, and I think I don't think Michaela falls any further than here, and my reason why is because Viola has the longevity argument, but Viola only has 3 elite podiums. Michaela has 2, and she at one point in time she did have the world record. So to your point, Rich, like there was a point in time where we were talking about, is this the best? And you got to assume if she gets healthy that she probably inserts herself back into maybe not that upper echelon of top 2 or 3, but she's probably a top 5 athlete if she can get healthy, because she's still back 2 years ago, she was dropping 60 lows, which was unheard of at the time. So if she could get back to that, she's probably, that's still better than some of these athletes, even some of these newcomer athletes. So I feel like I wouldn't let Michaela slide any further than here, but I'm open for the debate.
Well, I was just going to say for longevity purposes and like how many top fives. So again, this is kind of how I looked at things. Viola has 6 top fives of 14. That's almost half. And then Michaela, when she was, at her best, she has 3 top fives of 6. So they're almost both at 50%. And Viola has been doing it longer and more frequently. So I almost want to put her above, but with Michaela's win and the way that she did it during her time, it is still challenging, but I think these both are very close.
What's Viola's top world's finish?
She does not have she's got 2 world podiums. Let me look.
Oh, she has that elite 12 situation. There was only like 4 finishers in that race.
She got 2nd in Hamburg. She got 2nd in Leipzig.
She was 2nd in Leipzig?
Yeah,
I guess. Okay.
4th in Vienna, which is not worlds, and then 4th in Nice, where she crossed the line 2nd, but they had wall ball gate.
Yeah.
What do we, is this now where we could kind of work? Does personal record, does a PR now, is this a separator here? Like where Michaela is, 59 something? And I think Viola is 62-0.
Right.
Now it's on Berlin.
Yeah, it's fair. That's what
I'm saying. Yeah, Michaela's top end is higher than that. I think that was my original point, which is there was once a point in time where she was considered the best or one of the best or had an argument for being the best at that time. Viola has always been considered a top 5 to 7 athlete, but there was never a time where she was the best.
I'm cool with Michaela, then Viola, and
same.
then we're at 9.
All right, Michaela Norman 7, Viola Oberlander 8. Now we are on to the 9th pick. Rich, that's going to be you.
It's up to me. I'm into a new tier. Can I just like spit all the names out?
Do it.
Yep.
Let's just like dump all the names that we have on our boards out here.
Yep.
So I have, in no order, these are just how it's written. Miriam Van Roer, Rachel Von der Rock, Rachel Schreiber, MK Salander, and I have Kate Davey here. Any other names that we need to consider?
I was going to say, this is hard because again, like there's some names that I want to put, but the longevity factor is not a factor, but Alondra I have on here.
Yeah, Alondra had that period. Dr. Alondra Greenlee had that period where she was a dog.
Yeah, Kate Davey I definitely have.
That's your only New Jersey pick, Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate Davey's my only friend of the show pick.
Yeah, that's you. You're picking. You wanted Kate Davey into that top 3, but you had restraint.
Restraint. Yeah, what's interesting to me is there's only one other person who's never missed an elite podium, and this is pre-modern era. But Rachel Von der Rock was 3 for 3, and Bracken. I've got the voice of BK in my head, and actually, I heard Hunter say this too. If she decided that she wanted to actually go all in on this and dedicated to it, she would probably be in the discussion for one of the best to ever do it.
She would have been incredible.
It just didn't work.
She was like, she was like in the military, and then I think she started a family like shortly after that. She just had like a bunch of different things. She was like pursuing CrossFit, and it was before that this was a viable option. Like if it was now, she'd probably be like, "Cool, I'm going to go in this, and I could be like a full-time athlete potentially." So if we're working in potential here, MK, however, world champion, and we haven't seen her as much lately. She was top five in that Leipzig race, and she won the first race that happened in the United States, just like this big old to-do in Miami. So like she has like some wins. When was that Miami race? 2020, 2019? 2019, right? Let's pull that up really fast.
Yeah, I'm doing that now too.
So she has a win but it was the first win. Yeah, she beat Lauren Weeks in Miami. Beat Faye Stenning. Beat Corinna Coffin. Corinna Perkins now. And that's it. Something to think about.
It's just so hard to compare eras. Like that's my biggest struggle here.
Yeah, because you could make the argument for Rachel that she's kind of like the Michaela, like she is still regarded as being, if she came back and decided to do this, she'd probably be a problem.
So she has a world podium. Miriam does not. She has an original win. Podium. Miriam has that regional win. She won Maastricht the year in Vegas, and then a third, right, at Worlds.
I'm gonna just pull up her elite races. She's got 4 elite races. She got 3rd in Vegas. She got 5th in Maastricht 2023, and then when she started focusing on CrossFit, she fell off. She was 12th at Stockholm, 13th in Vienna.
What did you say she was? Well, that one year at Masters, she won.
That must have just been a pro race. Yeah, pro 2022. Was that an elite race?
That was the European Championship that year.
Okay, she won that race.
Where Viola was, yeah. And I think she got...
Okay, so that's an example of one that I didn't have because I didn't know that that's how they counted it. So then let me update my stats really quick. She's got 1 world podium, 1 elite win. That puts her at 2 elite podiums.
I think that's good enough. And PR wise, I think she.
You think Miriam at 9?
I think Miriam at 9. PR wise, what's her PR versus Kate Davies?
Let's see.
I think Miriam was close to 62 at her best, 63.
Well, Kate Davies got that 59 that turned into a 60 low because they don't know how to measure a course.
Short course. Yeah, she ran a 62 in.
She ran a 62 flat in Stuttgart. Kate Davy ran. Kate Davy has run she ran 62.37 in Hong Kong. She ran she ran 59.59 in Amsterdam. I think they changed that to a 60.29, but still.
I like Miriam here.
She's got 2 podiums and a world podium.
Yeah.
Michelle?
Yeah, I'm swayed.
All right. Number 10. There are a lot of names to still choose from.
Jeez. Is this me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of want to have Kate Davy here. Yeah, 1 podium, 2 top 5s. She's been consistently here in the era where there's a lot more competition. I don't know. I kind of want to have someone that's a little more recent here, but make your arguments.
This is tough because there are some people who like the potential was there if they just would have kept going, like maybe Rachel Von der Rock. There's a name that I put down that I knew has no shot of making the top 10, but just like a throwback. Anybody remember Belle McFarlane?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thought that.
Not everyone even that much of a throwback either.
I know, but at this point, there's going to be a whole host of RaceBrain fans who are like, who? And that's only 2 years ago.
I was thinking about that.
Belle McFarlane came on the scene, dropped an absolute stamp on that world championship. And then Rich Ryan also didn't like the qualification system, but Belle was like, no, until they fix this, fuck that. I'm out. And she just left. And she just does mixed doubles, and she's still dropping times with her partner. Yeah. She's running like 57, 58s, and he's not even a runner.
Incredible athlete. I think she was a heptathlete.
Yeah, she would be crazy if she like kept doing this. Maybe
she did she had a sled push technique that I don't think we have seen since, where she would stick her whole body through it and she would grab the front handles like inside. She would like I don't even know how to explain it verbally, but she would just be like pulling it essentially. Well, craziness. And and it crushed, and it was really, really good. Maybe that's the new way to do it. Maybe we should start practicing that again with the turf situation. I don't know. That's like I can't.
I said I know there's no way that she gets put on there. My question would be, just for the sake of conversation, I think it's probably Kate Davey here. However, when you look at longevity of a name that has been in a lot of the races, you could look at someone like Camilla Massa, who doesn't have an elite win or podium, which was surprising to me, but does have that LCQ win. And so,
and
there was
two age group world championship.
Yeah, and 2 age group world championships. Kate does not, or Kate has
What's her best worlds finish?
Kate's
Yeah,
would have been Nice, right?
like
when
6th
she
or 7th.
Finished 6th.
I don't know. It's tough.
And Camilla, I'm pretty sure, let me check the age, but I think Camilla beat her the Manchester year. Just double check. Where's Manchester 2023?
So how do you do
Camilla's raced a lot. Yeah, Camilla beat her.
I was just counting like from high result how many top 5s they had when I chose elite races specifically.
No. In your top 5 episodes, you guys kind of spit out your top 5, and then you kind of take the point totals, right?
Yeah.
So let's just do that for this last spot. Let's just rank who we have left, and then that's how we'll decide.
I personally am with Michelle that it's Kate, but I wanted to posit Camilla as someone to think about because she does have 2 age group world championships, one of which was over. They were in a different age group, but she was in the race. She beat Kate at Manchester 2023, and she's got that LCQ win.
I don't know. Over a world podium, I'm not sure. So let's so just a quick shout to anybody.
Well, Kate doesn't have a world podium. She's got a major podium.
Right. Anybody who wants to be considered for this top list, if you want to be a guest on the HYROX rundown, you will be considered. So just reach out. We'll happily have you on here.
Do you think that there's someone not named Kate or Camilla that makes sense for 10?
Yes.
I still have other names. Yeah.
Say the names.
MK Solander, a world champion. Rachel Vonderock, a world podium. And then maybe Belle McFarlane. Now you've mentioned it.
I mean, I'm down with the Belle pick personally.
The thing with Belle is that it was just like she's only going to drop off. Like,
well,
I don't know.
But I mean, I think that the thing about this 10 spot is that if whoever we put here doesn't have a good season next season, they're probably going to get dropped anyway.
For sure. And we can make this a top. We just keep it going.
Well, I don't think we can go to 20. I mean, we could
go to 20.
Well, I was going to say some other names that I have here because I was really thinking more of like consistency and relevance. Like I have Alondra, I have Lauren Griffith, I have Zara, I have Amy Bevilacqua. Like
Bevilacqua is a good one.
Like all of these names are still like solid top 5s and recent as well. Like they're still going.
My thing with Amy Bevilacqua, Zara, and the others is they don't have elite podiums, wins, or world podiums, and so that's where I would
records or anything,
world records. So I would probably if I thought that we were saying that this was a different era. With all of that in mind, I would probably go with Rachel Vonderock or Belle, because those are the only people that have world podiums that we haven't placed.
You keep not mentioning MK. She's a world champion.
That race doesn't count.
She could be like a Belle McFarlane who just like came in and just like stopped doing it.
What
race?
Much. What race was that, Rich?
I don't know. It's like the first one ever. 2018. Yeah, it just says World Championships.
How much time needs to pass?
Okay, Hamburg 2018 or Oberhausen 2019. She took first. Wow, dude. Wow. Okay. All right. Respect. Dog. She took a lot of ones, but then she hasn't been.
Right. So you're talking about Belle McFarlane out here. Belle McFarlane ran like 3 races ever.
I know.
Just because MK did it like 3 years before and was the best when she.
Why did MK stop racing?
I don't know.
She didn't like it. She's race with Florian Gast. Yeah, her last pro race was Frankfurt 2024. She ran a 1:15.
It's not what you want.
Not what you want. All right, so we're gonna stack. Where are we stack ranking here?
We got to figure this out. We got to do this right now. Let's just put the next 5 in order of how we like it, and then we'll just rank it how.
Okay, everybody take a second.
Top 5
Put it
episode.
in.
I got mine.
Everybody
I'm
put
ready.
it in.
I'm ready. I'm going.
Go.
Okay, so number 1 for number 10, I have MK Solander, then I have Rachel Von der Rock, then I have Kate Davey, then I have Belle McFarland, then I have Alondra.
Michelle, you got yours?
You go first.
Okay. I'm not going to go to 5, but for 4, I've got Rachel Von der Rock. Rich swayed me to MK Solander because she was a dog. Kate Davey and Belle 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it was hard for me to consider people who still haven't been relevant. That's just kind of how I was thinking. So
I'm OG. You guys forget.
I know.
I'm old.
Yeah. So
never forget how old
I brought up Rachel Von der Rock. Come on.
Never forget how old I am. You don't even know you weren't even there. That's Babe Ruth to you.
Just put Kate, then Rachel, then Alondra for me. I'll just do 3.
So then it's.
We don't
have to look at. It's Rachel then. Yeah.
All right.
Rachel Von der Rock, you're 10th. All right. Recapping this. The number 1 spot. Actually, we'll just go backwards. Number 10, Rachel Von der Rock. Number 9, Miriam Von Rohr. Number 8, Viola Oberlander. Number 7, Michaela Norman. Number 6, Vivian Taputo. Number 5, Bracken's arch nemesis, Chris Rogloski. Number 4, Joanna Wetrick. Number 3, the reigning world champion, Linda Meyer. Number 2, Meg Jacoby. Number 1, the GOAT, Lauren Weeks. Squad, how do we feel about that?
Let's see what changes.
I like it. Yeah, let's see who. I wanted to pose this question. How much time we got? We got to wrap this up.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time. We got nothing but time.
We're just hanging out. Holiday weekend.
Hanging.
We're just
nowhere to go.
Doing the thing. Who will be on this list after next season?
Matt.
That was a race brain.
Yeah.
What is not teaser? Race
If
brain stumper.
I think if based on where we all just were, Kate Davey is the closest to being on the list. If she throws out a couple more podiums or pulls off a win or top 5s, she could bounce Rachel. I feel like we're just waiting for Lauren Griffith to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's just, if she does it, and maybe Velacqua pulls off some more top 5s or a podium, she could be in there, especially because I feel like next year, the podiums and the wins are going to mean even more because the field is now granted that's a very biased point in time, but like the field is going to be much more stacked than all of these previous seasons.
The depth is going to be much better.
Yeah, the depth is going to be much better. This is definitely like, recency bias, but like they keep putting in some good performances and top 5 finishes and podiums. Like, could you see some of the other young women out there, like the Lucy Proctors of the world, like the Sineads, if they hold it together, do they have a case?
For sure.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like if Sinead and Emily Dahmen come out and podium on some majors or at the regional championship or whatever, like then we're going to have to consider them based off of the field of women that we just went over. I think like one podium at a major in 25, 26 will be like worthy of getting on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Rachel and Miriam are probably going to get bumped.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We'll expand.
Yeah.
I do think Alondra could be there too. She's coming back with a vengeance this year.
Is she coming back? Like, is she competing? Like, is she going to go for it again?
Had a good year.
She's been competing.
No, I know she was competing, but like, is she like, I mean, I just, be careful how I say this. Is she trying to compete at the elite level, or is she?
She's got like
focused on
a real serious job.
real serious. She is a
she has a real
doctor.
serious job.
She's got the
not
best attitude about everything too. She just shows up and wins. So
Yeah.
I think she's been doing great this year.
The job things. She's not like me, where I'm just going out and ski or gonna be like, I'm working today. Like she's actually doing stressful stuff. So like,
That's what I'm saying. That's no disrespect. Like,
No,
I mean,
it's
is there
more
space?
respect.
Is there space for her to compete as an elite? If she does, then
I'd say
yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
think
know,
that she could.
there's people, there's other names that I brought up that like Tara Jackson's of the world. It seems like she's kind of trying to get back. She wants to break back into that elite field. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, who from the doubles field? Tara's partner, Bridget Brown,
Yeah.
didn't really put in too many individual races this year, but she is like super fit. She just had like life stuff. Like she had her 4th kid at like last year while she was like really ascending. Like she's a name that could have just been in this Elite 15 for the past like 3 or 4 years. That just like the timing hasn't worked out for her. So if she hits an individual race, I wouldn't be surprised if we see her running, like 61, 62s. Morgan Scholes could be like that. She could be someone who.
Yeah, I was gonna say Morgan Scholes, Kat Fossbender.
Yeah, Kat Fossbender is going to be someone to definitely look out for. Maybe not to be on the all-time top 10, but definitely athletes that like
people breaking into Elite 15.
Yeah, but you know, if Kat comes in and drops some podiums, I mean, we put Joanna in after a year, so
yeah. If there's athletes come in and have a year like Joanna, we'll have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the depth is crazy. But also what's interesting to me is that we do have several people listed on this that are kind of callbacks. 3 of the top 10 are, I would say, aren't even really relevant or highly relevant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, this is all-time list.
Yeah.
This is not power rankings.
That's right.
Which I want to have. I want to have a top 50. I want to go way in. I just want to have a Race Brain top 50, and we'll just go like as deep.
Teaser.
We're going
Bauer.
3-hour long episode.
We're gonna have the definitive list on racebrain.media. Check it out.
Yeah,
Jack
Bauer might be working on a little something, and you wonder how your 2025 results compared to your 2023 results. I'm just saying we might be cooking. We might be cooking something.
He better be working on that credit card blog posts before anything else comes out, because I'm not trying to hear anything from him until I know how to maximize my points for travel.
I'm saying, watch out for Debo. All right, squad. We got anything else we need to hit?
I'm good.
I think we're good.
Smash that like button. YouTube,
share it with a friend. This is fun debate. You can have this debate with your friends. No one's gonna know.
I've got 10,000 stickers.
We have lots of stickers.
Send me your. My wife is mad about how many stickers I have.
We have
still got a fresh stack.
Right
yeah, you should. I have 2 boxes. So if you want a sticker, just send me your address. I'll delete that shit right after you send it, and I will send you a sticker.
I wonder if they sent us double, because that doesn't seem right.
No, I think what happened was that, remember, because when I got the first batch of stickers, you guys were like, that's wrong. And so, but then I got the what was right. So I think that they were like, oh yeah, we screwed this up. So here's the batch that we screwed up, and here's the right batch.
That's crazy, because that was not that cheap of a.
Look, we're gonna have enough Race Brain stickers probably for the next 5 to 6 years.
Yep.
I have some RMR stickers that came super late, and I was like, cool. I was gonna try the same deal, and just like, now I have.
We got stickers. We got stickers. Other than that, we think, based on some sleuthing, this might be old news by the time this episode actually gets released, but we got Boston in September.
Rumors. People are up in how
much of a rumor can it be when it's listed on the Event Center website? And then basically, okay, it's not official, but I will throw this out there. After Roxop posted it, and then Hybrid Fitness Media posted it, then HYROX put together a new fall location coming, because they're like, ah, shit, word's out. So
I love those teaser ones, like big announcement coming.
Yeah, everyone already knows.
Yeah.
Just tell us. Are you guys in on that Dallas train? We going to Dallas? Rich doesn't need to. Rich is like, nah, dude, I got a season now. I'm finally in. I don't need that 2-time shit. I'm into the major.
If we got the possibility of 2 East Coast ones in the fall, that's where I'll be.
Yeah, Rich, how are you gonna? This is the first year that you actually haven't had to race your way in. You're gonna get to race all the majors and the regionals. So are you gonna do local races? Or are you just gonna plan your season and mark those as your A races?
I'd like to go check out some of the local races. I don't know how the fall is going to shake out for various reasons, but I got to do doubles with our guy Chase. He's been on me. He's dumping you, man. I don't know if he's told you, but he wants to do
It'll be
doubles.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting dumped by partners left and right. I asked Kent if he would ever do a race with an athlete, and he told me no, and then he did one with Killian.
He did one.
So it's
yeah,
he did one with Killian. So that was cool. Yeah, Chase is out here dropping me for you. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. If you're a listener of the show and you just want a dude who's got
Matt's looking for a partner.
Matt's got a dog in him, dude.
If you want to do that a 2-time world championship qualifier, if you want to do that's got heart and will absolutely leave his heart and soul in the course,
it's true.
I'm out here.
He's here.
I'm out here. Mixed doubles, men's doubles. I can run a 341K. We can do this.
We can do it.
We can do this.
So I don't know. And I guess I'm probably Vegas and Phoenix for sure. Vegas maybe.
Is Vegas a major?
No, that's gonna be late January. Rumors.
Yeah,
Rumors.
possibly.
Rumors for sure.
Rumors. Come for the top 10. Stay for the rumors.
Rumors, baby. So I don't know. I'll be around.
All right, we'll see. But Dallas doesn't sound like you're in.
Dallas gonna be
Toronto doesn't sound like you're in.
Toronto's not gonna happen.
Toronto's
Hamburg is these international races just like gobble up a month in either direction just because of the travel and everything. So it's like I wish I could do Boston. I wish I could do Toronto. I wish I could do Atlanta.
You're probably, I mean, hopefully not, but you might just have to do all the majors.
I hope I can just qualify in Hamburg and then you'll just see me in Stockholm. Then I'm out.
Yeah, sweet. That'd be sweet.
That's what I'm banking on.
All right, squad. We did it.
We did it.
Smash that like and subscribe. Peace.
Thanks.